What is going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary, and we are going to be talking to the busiest man alive this morning and try to figure out how did he and how is he building his business, okay, as somebody who has a full-time job, somebody who is a high school football coach, somebody who also has 3 kids. Now, this is the one that really gets me. 3 kids under 3. All right. Now that there is a miracle worker. So with that being said, let's welcome Steve to the show. What's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. So are we in Chicago there? Where are you calling in from?
So I actually live in the Milwaukee area, even though all the Chicago stuff behind me. But yeah, we're up in Wisconsin. So kind of a transplant with my family, but
nice. Did your wife come up there with you, or did you go towards your wife's family?
So I was actually born and raised here. My family, my parents, when they were younger, moved up from Chicago. So
okay, nice, man.
Yep.
Nice. No, I lived in Florida my whole life, but grew up a big Chicago Bulls fan. You know, I mean, who wasn't, right? With Jordan and
right.
Pippen and all those guys. But a big Frank Thomas fan as well, and Sammy Sosa. I mean, I feel like the '90s were an era for sports that was, I don't know. I mean, it was obviously most memorable for me because I was growing up in the '90s. You know.
Yep, definitely.
So dude, what in the heck? How are you finding the time to do it, bro?
Scraping by. So this whole program, I think I found it back in like November, December last year, and my wife was a couple months pregnant with twins, and kind of freaking out. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna find the money? This is gonna be super expensive. We've got a 2-year-old. They're not at that time, not even a 2-year-old. And we're just trying to figure out what to do. And I came across a video similar to one, probably a ton of people here have seen. And it piqued my interest. I really had never heard of affiliate marketing before. I knew a good amount about, e-commerce, doing, online business type of stuff. My brother actually has his own writing company that is completely online based. He's a freelance copywriter. So I've been able to pick his brain a good amount too with a lot of this stuff.
Wow. Okay.
But once I came across these videos too, it was kind of like, holy cow, what is this? This seems really, really great. Signed up for the 15-day challenge. Kind of put it off, kept pushing it off. And then one day I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it. Let's get through this. I pounded out, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, got my call set up, went through all that, got everything unlocked towards the end and just finished through it. And then, about March, April, was able to finally actually get started. And then in April, our twins were born. So, once they were born, things kind of slowed down a bit for me. But I was, 1 hour a day, maybe 2 here and there, late at night, middle of the night when the twins were up and needing to eat. But, yeah, I mean, you just got to make it work. You just got to do it.
Yeah. So what was really the thing that pulled you in once you started going through? You saw our sales video on the page for the challenge and then started going through the chat. I mean, what was the thing that really made you say, yeah, I want to do this. I feel like I can do this versus what so many people do, which is see something and then think whatever they think. I can't do it. This isn't for me. This is not legit. Whatever the many different things that people think out there. What did it for you? What was the thing that converted you?
Not even a question. It's your guys' authenticity. I've seen a million different ads, a million different videos, online, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and they'll have a headline or an ad that'll kind of catch your attention. You get into it, and it's like, this doesn't seem legit. It seems like something that they're going to try and charge you, and they're just going to hang you out to dry. And when I got through like some of your videos, the video with you, some of the testimonials, is like, okay, this seems legit. I'm going to check it out. And to start, it was like $7. I mean, I spend more on, more than that on lunch half the days of the week. So I figured, what the heck? It seemed completely legit. You guys seem super authentic, and I've not regretted it once.
Nice. Yeah, there's definitely a benefit to kind of I said this to my wife the other night. I said, who would have thought if you'd have thunk 10 years ago and said, in the future, the thing that's really going to convert and the thing that's really going to go viral and the thing that really people are going to want to engage with is just real ass content, like just
Yep.
kind of thrown together on a, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be high produced. It just, just stuff that's shot on cell phones and stuff. And just,
Right.
I mean, nowadays content, I would say that shot on cell phones is going more viral, getting as many or more views than stuff that's professionally done.
Oh, totally. Totally. And that's the thing. Like, I'm sitting here in my basement with a $30 ring light bought off of Amazon, and you make it work. I mean, just because it's not a $5,000 white setup with a sound system, all that type of stuff, you just got to make content that people like and can catch their attention. I mean, and like you went back to saying kind of about being authentic. Even on some of my videos and some of the other content I've made, I've literally had people comment saying, "Hey, you seem like a nice guy. I'm going to check this out." Great, awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I get it, dude. I can't tell you for how many years I had like an addiction for buying like video equipment and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I would want to take my videos and content to the next level and, get all fancy. And the thing that I've landed here on after 10 or 11, 12 years, however the hell long I've been doing this, is just sitting here using my computer webcam every morning. Now I've got this microphone, but I swear, dude, getting it set up, I mean, it's really easy to set up and use. You know what I mean? It goes into this little, I don't even know what it is, this Yamaha mixing console thing. And then that plugs in the computer. And I don't know how it works. I don't know what all the buttons on it do. I just keep kind of messing with it until it sounds right. I got a light that is supposed to have one of those covers, and it's supposed to be one of those kind of projection lights that you use, in like a professional set. And I just kind of set it back there because I don't know. I mean, the glow, I was watching, honestly, Thomas Garrett, one of our marketers here in our community, one of our students. And I was watching his training, and he was like, yeah, I put this light back behind me and I'm like, all right, I'll throw a light back there, try to make it look a little bit better. And it's like, I got this ring light myself. It's this $15 thing that I got off of Amazon that connects to my desk, and I turn it on, and it doesn't make a huge difference, but it puts a little light on my face. And it's like, that just works. It's good enough, Yep,
exactly. Yeah, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to put out good content. I mean, probably 90% of the videos and stuff that in the content I've made have just been literally off my cell phone. This light has been here for a week, and this last couple of months we've had a lot going on, so I haven't had a lot of time to do content and work on that type of stuff. But it works. You just got to make it work. You got to be real. You got to push out good content and things that people can actually care about and kind of relate to.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit. You said the thing that's working best for you has been videos that have a controversial opening, and you're mostly marketing on TikTok, right? Let me throw up your handle there so people can also connect with you. But best results have been with videos that have a controversial opening done by myself or a different clip, and then using a hook / call to action. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah. So some of the best videos I've had put out there, I'm not sure how many people are super familiar with how TikTok works or in terms of generating the content. So like if you stitch a video, some of the ones I've used have been from Biden's State of the Union speech, where he's talking about how somebody shouldn't have to work 40 hours a week to put food on the table. Obviously, you see the president, you see the what he's saying. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, I don't care. You're gonna watch it. You're gonna scroll, and then you're gonna stop when you see that. And then as soon as that stopped, what I did is I started talking about how we probably know people that are struggling, that are working even 50 or 60 hours a week. I know tons of people like that. Myself, been in that situation. And another one, probably my best video was I think it was the woman sitting in her car. And she said something along the lines of like, tell me something people aren't ready to hear. Okay, well, you want to hear that. And, it kind of went on to say that you can make, obviously there's lots of work involved in it, but once, you can get to the point where you're making full-time income or even a good enough income on the side that you don't need to worry about working nearly as many hours or putting in all the overtime or stressing out even. So it's kind of like that, get something that makes people stop scrolling or to click on something. And then as soon as that's done, like I said, either a call to action or just kind of explaining something quick, because you don't want to lose their attention and have them scroll. So you just want a quick little bit, tell them to comment, tell them to follow, anything like that. And that's really what's worked best for me, I think.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're making me think of a guy. I want to try to pull his stuff up here real quick. Because if you guys want, I want to see if this is what you're talking about. Let me share my screen here real quick. Hold on. I'm also going to give you guys a great content creator to check out. So this guy is named Derek Jackson. Okay, and what he does is he creates content in markets on basically relationship stuff. And this is the kind of content that you're talking about, right? To where you're sitting there and you're just watching while somebody else is talking or doing something. Is that right?
Yeah, similar to that. So either that or rather than it being kind of side by side, it'll just be the full video.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. And we can just pull your account up here real quick. Wow, you've done well. You've blown this up. Yeah, so you can't. So here's an example of where you've got Steve Harvey talking, and you're kind of side by side with him, just listening. And then when he's done, you kind of pop in, or you don't even talk throughout the entire video. You just kind of react.
Yeah, that one's just reaction. But so the one with Biden just to the left there, that was one of the other ones I was talking about. It just starts out with him. You get people to just watch, and then you just quit.
I know, dude, honestly, those videos are so hilarious, dude, where you have somebody talking and then all of a sudden you come in and you just, either shred the idea, you kind of respond. I think one of the things that's the most entertaining for me on social media is to watch sort of reaction videos. And like whether it's somebody reacting to a music video, like one of the funniest things to do is for me, some time ago when I was watching this more than I am now, I would go and watch these two dudes who would react to different rap videos. And I could tell that they were blazed in the video, like they were sitting there blazed, but they were just like reacting and just totally being hilarious. And it was annoying because they would keep stopping the video or rewinding it like, damn, what did he say or whatever. But it was just so funny, dude. And I think that the big idea here is you in some ways, as well as Derek Jackson, this guy, 1000% are taking content that's already trending, that's already going crazy, and simply reacting and adding your 2 cents onto that video, right?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a new concept. I mean, Amazon wasn't the first place to sell books online. They weren't the first place to sell stuff online. Google wasn't the first search engine. You gotta. It's not wrong to piggyback. You can just use it to kind of assist yourself.
Yeah. No, I think it's brilliant. I mean, and it's entertaining because we as human beings, we want to get, we want to know what other people think. And we that's what life is all about. I mean, if you think about what's the most human naturistic part of human beings in socializing is talking about other people. And I mean, we can say all day, well, I don't talk about people. Bullshit. Everybody talks about people because that's what life is. Life is other people. And you know, whether you're talking about somebody, you know, badly behind their back, whether you're just talking about them, we all talk about people. We talk about friends, family, we talk about celebrities. And that is the juiciest juice. It's like, get out your teacup. I got juice. Everybody knows what that is. And everybody's like, hit me with it. You know, everybody wants it. And I think when you take something that's juicy or something that a lot of people have an opinion about, and then you add an opinion to your opinion to it, people are either going to agree and they're going to get fired up and say, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah. Or they're going to say, no, I disagree. Right. And that's what you want. Right.
Totally. Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of my videos, you know, everyone that's going to promote affiliate, you're going to hear one thing. I guarantee you're going to hear one thing. It's a scam. You're going to hear it.
Yeah.
And I always try and follow up with those people. I say, you know, I'll buy the 15-day challenge for you. I will pay for it for you to start. Not a single person has taken me up on it. Not a single person.
Wow.
And to go back to your other point about talking about other people, you know, when you get home, or if your spouse is home now, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whatever, ask them how their day was. And I guarantee the first thing they start doing is talking about all the people they work with or all the people they spend time with. You know, it's so true.
Yeah. I think the more marketing for me over the years, this is kind of a big revelation that I've had recently. Marketing over the years, for me, getting more savvy in understanding marketing in actual like human psychology more, has moved me towards embracing more of these things, like gossiping and juice and talking, like just leaning into more of that versus trying to be, you know, Mr. Positive, Mr. Motivational, Mr. Glass half full. Because the truth is that people would actually, like, I'm a pretty optimistic guy. I think I've gotten a little bit more curmudgeon over, you know, as I get older. But people would rather, and this is just what news agencies and so forth have figured out so brilliantly, right? People would rather hear things that they can get outraged about and things that they can get upset about and fired up about versus things they can feel good about and feel happy about. Because most people would rather feel outraged and mad and angry about something than they would to feel happy for someone or about something. Do you agree with that?
Oh, completely. I mean, whether it's the news or, you know, whether you're at work and, you know, if somebody says something negative to you, whether, you know, they're saying you're doing a bad job or, you know, the work you did was terrible, it's stupid, that's going to stick with you longer than if somebody says, hey, you're doing a good job. You know, that you're going to feel good for a couple hours, but, you know, if somebody says something negative about you, chances are you're going to be thinking about that for days, weeks, I mean, even longer. And yeah, like you said, the news is the same way. If I see a piece of good news that, you know, some little kid helped an old lady across the street, that's awesome, but I'm going to forget about it in 10 minutes. Whereas if, you know, I see some kid ran a grandma crossing the street over with her car, I'm going to be mad about that for a week.
For days, right?
Yeah.
For a week, right? No, and the sooner that we can kind of understand that, and I think this is a big shift, I think, for a lot of you as well as me. I mean, this is evolving game for me too, all the time. The more that we can sort of get away from just trying to be Mr. Positive or Mrs. Motivational all the time, and instead get into the gossip column business, get into the TMZ, get into, why do you think the National Enquirer has been on the front rack in every grocery store, Walmart, Target across the world for decades and decades? Because people are more prone to pick up the most outlandish, outrageous horseshit that you've ever read, that most people wouldn't even believe, but it doesn't matter because the entertainment value is high. And in order, you talked about the thing that you said, the thing that's working best for me is videos that have controversial openings done by myself or a different clip, and then using a hook or a call to action. So this is an example of a hook. When it's kind of like it's a train wreck and I can't stop watching it, right? Whether it's somebody's relationship or whether it's somebody living their life on Facebook, we all have the friends who we think are an absolute train wreck, but you can't stop watching.
Yep.
You go to their profile just to see if they posted any dumb shit lately, right?
I've got probably a dozen people on Facebook, and I only have like 200 or 300 Facebook friends that I just follow just for that. It's like a bad car accident.
Dude, I'm telling you. So imagine like this is where we get where how can I use that to my advantage? I've talked a lot about this over the last couple of weeks on coaching calls and in various formats, is give people what they want, not what they need. This is one of the lessons from the legendary copywriters in original legendary marketers, the Gary Halberts, the John Carlton, the Gary Bensavegias, the all these guys that were writing copy back in 1950, 60, 70, when there was no internet, when you had to write the letter, mail it to somebody, dude, and they had to you had to have a big enough, a good enough hook to actually get them to read the damn letter, to open the mail, not put it in the garbage can, read the letter, and then go and write the check, mail it back to get the video or the booklet or the book or what. I mean, that was some badass marketing.
No kidding.
What they said, and this is one of those Eugene Schwartz. He's another one. If you read Eugene Schwartz, Breakthrough Advertising, you will learn, and he will say it, sell people what they want, not what they need. Everybody needs a healthy diet, but McDonald's, Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, Hardee's, everybody wants that.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. I say everybody needs a good balanced diet, but look at America. Not everybody's eating a good healthy balanced diet, myself included. Exactly.
Come on now, baby. I had 3 brownies last night, dude. I mean, my wife woke up this morning. She goes, "You son of a bitch." You know, it's people are gonna do what they want to do. You know, you got the guy who's got cancer. He's in his 70s and he's still smoking. You know, you got the guy who's, had 3 heart attacks and he still goes and has his bacon and eggs every morning. I mean, it's just people do what they want to do. And the more and the quicker, and I know this is a hit to all of you motivational, positive thinking mindset people. I was one of them as well. I still am, but I'm not trying to shove that stuff down people's throats. I think a lot of people are creating content that they're trying to project what they like and where they're at in life onto people, and the masses are not interested. They're not there. They're still in zombie land, watching the news, being outraged by everything in a low awareness state. So you have to hook them using the stuff that they're interested in, want to hear, and then slowly transition them to whatever you're sending them to, whether it be a business course or the 15-day challenge or your whatever niche you're in. You have to hook them with something that they're interested in, what they want, and then transition them over to your product with a call to action, or kind of saying, hey, this is a solution to whatever you're struggling with. Does that make sense to you? And is that the path that you're on, and you feel like the content that you've created the most, that's done the best, has been aligned with what we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the motivation, the self-help. That's its own great kind of little part of the market. But at the same time, it's not. And I don't want to say people that do that are self-centered or anything like that, because they're not. They're doing it to motivate other people. They're doing it to help other people. But at the same time, the motivation thing is kind of what they're into. And when you're trying to market stuff, it doesn't matter what you're into. It matters what the people you're marketing are into.
Yeah.
Because you're not the one that's going to buy the product. They are. And once you kind of realize that it's not about you. It's about the people that you are trying to, click on a link or, get on your email list, something like that. You have to provide value to them, whether or not it really does anything for you.
For sure. I think another thing that I've realized is paying attention to my level of listenability. The more sometimes intense or super positive or whatever you are on camera or talking to people, can make it difficult for people to like listen to you. And it's not really something they can put their hand or finger on. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really put your finger on why you don't like listening to somebody. But a lot of times it's just, there's people who are easy listening, and then there's people who are just hard to listen to. Sometimes they talk too fast. Sometimes they're just too intense. It's an energy thing. And a lot of times the people who are most interesting to listen to, like a Howard Stern, if you listen to Howard Stern, okay, he's a guy that's been on the radio, love him or hate him. If you listen to the art of how he delivers his message, he speaks kind of slow. He doesn't say a lot of words, and he's real self-deprecating, which means that he's always making fun of himself, and that makes people like him more, right? So, Elise says this approach is not for everyone. No, it's not. You have to figure out what works for you. You have to figure out what works for you. But one thing that we can do is we can look at somebody. Another thing I notice is with Oprah, if I listen to her and I watch her, she also is really easy to listen to. When she talks, she keeps it super simple. She doesn't talk in big words. She doesn't try to be so smart when she's talking that everybody is like, oh, wow, that's a big word. Let me go look that up. She speaks in like a 5th grade level, right? But she's so kind and sweet and makes it so simple and talks about topics and understands how to tee things up and use cliffhangers. And it's really interesting to watch. What's coming up for you as I'm going through some of these names and so forth?
The one I think about, I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. So there's lots of episodes where he has his comedian buddies on. Those are great. Those are funny. I listen to every single episode he puts out. But when he has people on that are they're doctors, they're Neil deGrasse Tyson, people like that, where their intelligence level, at least compared to me, is far and beyond. Now, if I try to listen to somebody like that for 3 hours, chances are after half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm going to go, man, my head hurts. I can't listen to this. Yeah. And, with Joe Rogan, it's the thing I kind of try to equate with is myself to Joe. Now, obviously my life is not anything like his, but in terms of the way he handles that, he is a very smart person. And you can hear that from how he talks with these people. But at the same time, he calls himself an idiot, and he's just a big dummy. And he'll sit there and get drunk when he's talking to these people, and he'll just be like us. He'll be like the average Joe just sitting there talking to him. So it kind of brings down almost that stress level of when you're talking to somebody that's that intelligent, or the topic they're talking about is that heavy, and he kind of brings it back down to earth. So if you're pushing out content where it's kind of intense, you got to try and balance that out and kind of bring it back down to earth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's that self-deprecating kind of humor. Joe Rogan's a brilliant stand-up comedian. I mean, that's where his roots are. He's got a couple of specials out, I think, on Netflix or something. You can find him on YouTube probably as well. But no, he's a brilliant guy. He's a brilliant guy. So is Howard Stern. So is Jerry Springer. So is Oprah. So are all these people, political people. Rush Limbaugh. You got Chris Cuomo, Don Lemon, like all these guys. Doesn't matter, on both sides of the aisle, on all kinds of ideologies. Joel Osteen's another one who's a absolutely brilliant guy. He's a brilliant marketer as well. But if you listen to his sermons, one of the reasons why I believe he's gone so viral and why he's become so popular is because his sermons are super simple and they're super clear. He's not up there trying to pontificate about some of the most complex, theories and thoughts that you can have about the Bible. He's telling stories in there. He's a very clear, clean deliverer. Also, T.D. Jakes. He's somebody who he's another pastor, and he's more kind of an inspirational, kind of a Southern Baptist preacher, but also same thing. real simple and real clear, but the Joe Rogan is self-deprecating humor. That's exactly what I think a lot of people nowadays, what I've realized it doesn't work nowadays is the showing off how rich you are. I think immediately that pisses people off, makes them jealous, envious. Even if you are super successful, have a lot of money, the standing in front of the Lambos and all that, that's been played out.
Yeah.
And more than anything, it pisses people off versus just showing that you're a normal person more. Even if you're super successful, showing that you're a normal person, kind of like what Joe does, where he says, I'm a big dummy, blah, blah, blah. What he's trying to do is, as you mentioned, to relate to the audience and not be better than them, right? But make you, when you're listening, feel like you're just a part of the conversation. And I do think he is that person. I do think he's a cool cat, but he also understands human psychology enough to keep his content and his ego in check when he's talking.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you're scrolling through videos, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, anything, and I agree. It's not that I get mad. It's just like I don't really care. I don't care if you're standing in front of a Lamborghini. I don't really care. But then you come across people that somebody you've had on here and somebody I follow, Brian Brewer. The amount of money he's made and is making is probably astronomical, but yet pretty much all the content he puts out, he's in a t-shirt and a baseball hat. Like you'd see him on the street and you wouldn't think, oh, that guy's probably worth, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just looks like just the regular guy. So the more you can relate to people, the better you can connect with them. And the more you connect with them, it's easier to kind of, promote stuff and get them to keep following with you and kind of work with them.
Yeah. Well, we've covered a lot of cool stuff here, dude. I mean, both the kind of reaction / stitching content and kind of writing hot, trendy content, reacting to it. And I think the cool thing that you've laid out here is it doesn't have to just be business or entrepreneurial. There's ways to find angles. Say, for example, if you are promoting something that's make money or some sort of business or marketing course or training, or that's your niche, you can take parts of a Biden speech. You could take a clip from a Trump thing. You could take something from a teacher, a kid, if it's trending, if it's hot, if there's a way to cut out a piece that you can then react to of something that they said, then depending on how creative you are, you can turn that into a piece of content that relates to your niche in the product that you're promoting.
Yeah, absolutely. You can make content out of anything. You just have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. And I think that your income is in direct correlation to your creativity. And I think one of the big challenges we have coming from employee to entrepreneur is unclogging a bit of that creative channel because, maybe we haven't used it. It's sort of like a muscle that's gone atrophy, right? It's like, well, if we haven't been, I think we got to give ourselves a break to realize also that creativity is something that's nurtured and developed. It's not just that you're supposed to be a creative genius on day one or week one or even year one. This shit takes some time to build that muscle.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all trial and error. You're going to find stuff that works. You're going to find stuff that doesn't. And you just have to keep doing it. You have to keep, making content, pushing content. And you're eventually just going to get better and better and better at it. I mean, if you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle, you're not going to be able to get on and, drive 70 miles an hour down the freeway. You're probably going to fall off and die. It's the same thing. Everything is a muscle, whether it's actual muscles on your body, discipline, anything like that, creativity. It's all the same. The more you use it, the better you're going to get with it.
So before we wrap up, if somebody was sitting on the checkout page getting ready to take the 15-day challenge based on your experience, what would you tell them?
Like I said, I spend more money on lunch half the days of the week than I do on that 15-day challenge. It's the best $7 I ever spent, and it's to get that money back is so easy. I mean, I don't want to say it's just $7, but it's just $7, and the amount of the value you get out of that, it'll be the most valuable $7 you will ever spend.
Well, that's a strong statement. That's a strong statement. I tend to agree. I mean, I may be a little biased, but what the hell, I mean, it's better that it come from you than from me, right? So,
Right.
keep the beard game strong. First
To.
of all, okay, it's definitely looking badass. I don't know what else. I mean, I had a beard at one time that was pretty badass. It just got hot here in Florida. That was the challenge that I ran into. Keep up the fantastic, content and marketing work. The good, I guess I will say good luck with the kids. I got a 5-year-old and an 8-month-old at home. I mean, so I know exactly what you're going through, but I don't have twins.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
Oh man, I'm not even trying to say I can relate. I just, I'm going to be praying for you, brother. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
And sending positive thoughts your way. Keep up the great work, bro. Come back and see us, okay? And let me know if there's anything I can do to help you at any time, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
All right, see you, Steve. All right, my friends. There you go. Go follow Steve. He knows a few things. He's figured a few things out. He's continuing to figure things out, as we heard. And I think as or more important to figure out, how do you find balance when you have, a full-time gig? We didn't even talk about being a high school football coach. I mean, that's just a whole nother thing that takes a lot of time, because I know, because I played a lot of sports when I was a young man. And to be a full-time parent, not of one, not of two, but of 3 kids, 2 of them being twins. Wow. Like for real, that's a ton of work. So it's not just, the marketing stuff. Sometimes it's how do we blend and balance. I think balance is somewhat of an illusion, but we'll keep striving for it. Get out of here, my friends. Okay. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll be back here on Monday as usual, continuing to keep chugging along. Be legendary. We'll talk to you then. Peace. Bye.